Good evening, and thank you all so much for joining us here at Safe Space once again. We are so excited and happy to be here with you tonight. And I say we because it is a number of us tonight, not just one guest. These guests are very special to me. They are near and dear to my heart. And this time of year, as I've said many times, is a time of reflection, is a time of loving, spending time with your loved ones, us thinking about how grateful we are for those that are still here with us, and sometimes mourning those that are not. But we can't stay in that place of mourning. And if we're blessed to have people here with us that love us and that impart and share our lives with us, I think that we should take some time sometimes to evaluate what it is they mean to us and let them know what they mean to us. Look at the significance and the importance of what it is that they give to us each and every day in our life. For those of you that have never visited Safe Space, it is a place of initially of encouragement, which it still is, because the message that I want to make sure everyone receives from Safe Space is that there's always hope. As long as our God is alive, there is hope no matter your situation. But as it has evolved in this 2.5 years, I have began to hear from God that it is definitely a place of stories because we all have a story. The stories that are told here are to again let you know that there is always hope in God. And hopefully, there will be similarities in these stories to meet someone out there at their place of need. That if God did it for those people, whatever the story may be, addiction, loss, anxiety, friendship, loved ones, grief, healing, of deliverance of all types, that if he did it for them, he will do it for you. These stories are told to let you know that these testimonies can indeed be your story because God does not do anything for one individual person. He does it so that you will know that if you try him, it can be your turn next. Without further ado, I want you all to meet my sister girls. Some of my sister girls I have known for over 30 years, others about 20, others maybe 10. However, I am a person that when someone comes into my life and I have grown spiritually in my development to understand that it is discernment, that when I meet you, I initially almost know whether you're going to be someone that is in my life closely or we're going to be acquaintances, which there's nothing wrong with that because we all have that in our life, hopefully. These are my sister girls that I cry with, I laugh with, I play with. And tonight we're going to discuss the significance of being here for one another and looking for information to discuss for this because we could talk about anything all the time. I wanted the information to be biblically based. So I looked up some Bible verses. We're going to start with Proverbs 17:7. It says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." And I thought to myself, we have this cliche, blood is thicker than water. But then I look around all the way back to Cain and Abel, all the way back to the wars that are going on in the Middle East. These were blood brothers. We
Mhm.
know what happened with Cain and Abel, murder. So I thought to myself, I'm an only child, so I don't have the experience of having a blood sister or brother. Sometimes I've always thought maybe that's why my friendships were so important to me. But I think that's some of it. But the rest is the way my mom raised me to love and respect people. And then I began to understand that in God, there are kindred spirits. There are people that are born to be a part of your journey. There are people that are part of your destiny. They are destiny helpers. They are sent to you to be able to enable you, encourage you, undergird you, stand in the gap for you, to enable you during your time of weakness to walk out the purpose for which we were placed here on this earth. So we can start wherever you ladies would like to start. One of the things I want to talk about is how you all feel about the people in your life. Because this was another verse that struck me. Proverbs 27:9. Oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from the earnest of their counsel. So that's a good place to start. I would like to think that I have a strong enough relationship with all of you that if we disagree, that we're strong enough to agree to disagree, or you spend the time to earnestly tell me, or vice versa, what you think about a given subject matter. Because of that, some of you are so earnest, I don't tell you because I don't want to hear it. So anybody that has a thought or you want to jump in or something you want to add from where we're starting here tonight, please feel free. Let's go. Don't be shy. Come on.
Well, I kind of I've been kind of by myself too, but I'm a firm believer that God gives you everything that you need. You can't help who you're born to and the crisis that life itself brings before you, but you can't choose those who really, really have your interests at heart, who really have a deep love for you, and who just accept you for who you are and try to change you, but try to hold you up, both when you're going through things and when things are wonderful.
Right. Okay, why y'all so quiet? Come on, don't do this. I'm gonna come on.
Hey, I'm trying not to dominate the conversation, all right? I was quiet because I didn't want to say a whole lot because I am the loquacious one in the group. Everybody knows that, but because we love one another, y'all accept me for who I am. And so I'm trying to be quiet. I mean, I can jump in at any time. But Nicole is on here, you know, the one who never wants to pray. And here's Joe, the one who always wants to pray.
Wait. I'm not gonna let you do that.
I have to start up some kind of way.
That's true. Nikki will bring some prayer down.
I didn't say she couldn't pray.
Well, she will pray. You said she never wants to pray. That's not true. She's just not you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, now we get her to talk.
I've been trying.
See? That's why I'm going to be quiet. See, that's why I'm going to be quiet.
Don't be quiet.
Get it, Nikki. Get it, girl.
Be you. Come on.
But why you gonna come at me like that? I mean, right out the gate, you know. But that's sisterhood, right?
Exactly.
That is sisterhood. When you know that you can speak freely, you can have fun. I know that comes from a place of love. Being the only child, you know, and wanting that connection, especially with sisters that I never had. I am so grateful and thankful for the sisterhood on this call. Each and every one of you have been a part of my life and have contributed something into my life that I can never, I feel like I just can never repay. It is something special. It's something that I hold dear to my heart. Sisterhood to me is intentional. It's intentional. As I get older, I find that I want to be around women who are striving for the same things. My love for God, my love for family, my love for sisterhood. That is so important to me. And I am just so grateful that we're all on this journey together, trying to go in the same direction. And I love you all.
That sounds real sweet and rehearsed, but that is you. That is you.
That's Miss Georgia Pacific. So that's Miss Georgia Pacific.
When I want that, I know I dial your number. And when you answer the phone, I just start talking. And then you say, well, pumpkin. And then you go into that. So when I need that, you know, that's good. That's good. Okay.
But when she needs fire. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Nicole called me Ladybug. She gave me a little ladybug for my birthday that I keep in my car. She's so pretty.
Well, that's so
why
special.
Did she call you Ladybug?
Special.
Yeah, that's because everybody else is pumpkin. Everybody pumpkin. And then you get to be Ladybug by yourself.
I'm Ladybug. But I would say though that like because I know you ladies, like Shelby said, have known each other for 30 plus years, and I've had the blessing of knowing you for at least 10 years. I've known you longer than that, but really being in a relationship with you, with all of you. I have, I'm a family of six. It's six of us, but, and I love all my siblings, and I know they all love me. And I think sometimes when you have a lot of siblings, that things just come routine and expected because that's your sister or that's your brother. But sometimes you don't always have that close-knit relationship with them that I see that y'all have. So I've always admired y'all's relationship and how you get together for holidays and birthdays and stuff. And I'm just overjoyed and just thankful to God that I am a part of this sisterhood. I used to remember First Lady used to sometimes say when she would be speaking at church about the bus. And she was like, everybody can't get on the bus. Everybody can't get on the bus. And I was like, man, I want to get on that bus. And then she said, you get on that bus, you can't get put off the bus. I ain't getting put off the bus. I'm on the bus. I ain't getting put off the bus. But it's just such a, but I've also heard pastors say you want to surround yourself with people who you want to be like with what's the word, Shelby, you just said, kindred spirits, people who trying to go and grow in the same direction that you're growing in. And that's what I see with all of us. We number one thing for all of us, that we love God with all our hearts, period. And we're living our life for him. But it's a blessing to have you on the journey with you as you are going through it. So like I can when we did different book studies, and at some of them I'd be like, I don't understand what they saying right here. First Lady Shelby, what they saying, I don't understand this part. But then you ask about that Elijah.
Do it, Joe. Do it.
And Elijah, I got it. I got that Elijah. So I recently did some spiritual gifts, and one of them was teacher. And I thought, I'm not no teacher.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
When my friend said, the way you tell Elijah, I said,
you're a teacher.
You're a teacher.
A teacher.
Mm-hmm. So, and I think that goes to, our sisterhood. I would say that speaks well of when you do not see exactly who you are. We can see you better than you can see yourself. And we're not trying to allow you to downplay yourself, because in our relationship, I'm not going to let you talk bad about my friend Joe, about my sissy Joe. Okay, so if you have something to say about her, you might want to try someone else, because you're not going to come to me and say she's not a teacher. Joe's a teacher. Joe has a great, your heart, Joanne, is like none other. You're super selfless. And even for folks on my bus, I look at three things. Number one, which was the main one you already mentioned, which is we all love God.
Yes.
You cannot be on my bus and not love God. What are we going to be doing together and you don't love the man that loved me first? That's number one. Number two, I needed to have people around me with great character. I didn't have to worry about that because y'all love God. You love my Jesus. So your character has to be stellar. And then the third thing was I have an issue with people around me that don't have the capacity to love unconditionally. And so with those three things, you got to love Christ. You definitely have to have Christ-like character. And you have to have the capacity to love unconditionally like him. And so I think someone else said earlier about having, you may not be close to those that are your sisters or your brothers by birth. Mm-hmm. And that is something we have no control over. We didn't pick our parents. We don't pick our siblings. Mm-hmm. It is who it is. Lord have mercy. Okay. But I have also learned in my life that I live by choice now, not by chance. Mm-hmm. And so, as you all know, I really drive my life. It is a purpose-driven life. It is a life that is lived by principles. And I'm so glad that you guys are my sissies and you live by principles. And if I mess up on one of my principles, Shelby, Britt, Joanne, or Nicole will let me know. Well, you said, and then y'all put me back in line, okay? I like the fact that Shelby, Joanne, Nicole, Britt, all you guys motivate me, but you do not manipulate me.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
That's not love.
It is not. That's the reason why I said you have to have the capacity to love unconditionally. And everybody doesn't have that capacity. So I love the fact that you guys motivate me, but you don't manipulate me, because you know a lot of people that are born into a family, but they're manipulated by their family. They're not motivated by their family.
You can't choose those people.
No, you can't.
You can't choose those people. And that's it brings me to one of the things that you just said that I read while researching this topic. And I found it so interesting. I shared it with you earlier, that the benefits of these types of relationships that are really health-wise and mental, they reduce stress. Women often respond to stress with their friends through strategy seeking social supports from other women, making females feel validated and valuable because you understand what it is to be a woman. Emotional support. Female friendships tends to involve high levels of self-disclosure, allowing for deeper emotional connection and sharing of personal experiences. Positive self-image. You just said that. Feeling accepted and understood by female friends that can boost your self-esteem and confidence. Improved mental health. Strong female social networks have linked to better mental health and outcomes, including reduced stress and anxiety. Social validation. Sharing experiences and perspective with other women that can provide a sense of validation and belonging. Career support, because you know what gender discrimination is. Female friends can offer valuable career advice, encouragement, and networking opportunities. Those females that have reached higher height know what it is to experience gender discrimination and extend opportunities to other qualified females. Life skill development. Learning from one another's experiences can help women develop coping mechanisms and personal growth strategies. It also warns in developing new relationships to proceed with caution with your depth of disclosure until the relationship has been tested and tried for faithfulness and truth and love. It also talks about a hormone that is released in deep developed female friendships, spelled SEROTONIN. How do you pronounce that, Joanne? Serotonin.
Spell it again.
SERONTIN.
Yeah, it's serotonin.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought it was, serotonin, but I wanted to make sure because it don't look like that was on my sleep bottle.
You know, I look at you like that.
It's a different.
You like that, Shelby. Because I was like, you know, I mess up words. Then she gonna call me.
Wait a minute. Side note.
Joanne,
Hold
you can write prescription.
Hold on, y'all. Side note. Joe.
Yes, ma'am.
Girl, your hair looks good.
Oh my!
That's it. And all
here.
of it is yours, honey.
My stylist is on here, and y'all should have saw what she gave me the other morning when I went.
Were you cute?
I had the sterling silver tray, and I had some grapes. I had two types of cheese. Now I had the Gouda, and I had the sharp white American.
Did you have some grapes?
I had some grapes, and I had some Ritz crackers.
This morning, did you have mimosa?
I didn't have a mimosa this time. I had some.
She didn't give you a mimosa.
She didn't give me a mimosa, but probably because I be drinking the wine all the other times. You know, she have to come the other time with me.
Your hair looks so good. Britt, you did a fabulous job.
Joanne is easy as far as hair because she's an extremely beautiful woman.
She is. She's so pretty.
Thank you. But she loved to talk to you though when she started massaging that scalp. I can't talk then.
Oh Lord.
You know what? I told her to be quiet because that's like therapy.
I'll stop dead sentence. I'll be like, I'll be like a robot.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you
which is worse
with
the massages, Lisa or Joanne?
this is the whole thing. You know, I was raised
My
in,
phone keep filing.
and women don't spend enough time with themselves for themselves. And
Yes.
sister, to
That
you,
part.
I feel that that is my job. I think that each individual in our group has a certain something that they contribute. I intentionally contribute care for you guys. You're all in high powered positions. You're all constantly busy. I'm constantly busy. So most of the time when I'm with you all, I'm at a much more relaxed state than I am when I am perhaps with another client.
That's interesting.
Clients
I
is,
can see that though, because there
yeah,
is the relationship. Even though her work does not suffer, she is more relaxed because she doesn't have to be on. She
exactly.
can be she can be herself at another level, which speaks
Yeah.
to this
Yeah.
this hormone that's released when
Mhm.
we're together. And
Ex-
if one of us are threatened, the hormone kicks in and it kind of acts like a mama bear response,
Yeah.
like if you're protecting one of your kids. And I can identify to that. I remember, Nicole had a brief bout with illness in the spring of the year. And I really, really didn't ever think about how much I loved her.
Oh,
No,
We are not crying on this call. You're gonna mess up your lashes are gonna come off.
Oh, it's okay.
call, because you know what? People
It,
don't real. They have a mask.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
right. And that's why you're more comfortable when you're doing my hair, because you don't have to have a mask. But we were all on the phone. I was in Carrollton in the dark, couldn't see, didn't know where I was going, trying to drop some food off at someone's house because they had lost a loved one. And when she started talking about what was going on with her in the hospital, and I had a level of understanding because of what I
Mhm.
went through with mom,
right.
when I got off the phone, I was like, no, ma'am,
Mm,
this is not going down like this.
Yeah.
So sometimes you don't know your level of care until they're threatened
And
or
see, Shelby,
something.
I can understand that, especially when you're a mom, we do it so easily. But what I've noticed is that when you have your sister friend, like Britt calls sister girl, or your sissies, it does kick in again. And when you were talking, all I could see was, and Joe, Joe knows what I'm talking about, was lionesses live and they collect that which helps them to live. They do that in that grouping.
They take care of
And
the
when,
whole herd because the men
right,
don't hunt, they do
right,
it.
they do it. But when one is harmed, the whole entire group of lionesses, they will come after you with a vengeance. It is no holds barred. So yes, I can understand how upset you were. I understand that all of us understand that we all kicked in our own way.
Right.
I mean, Nicole, you didn't have to worry about somebody praying for you. You don't have to call the church to get prayer.
Uh-uh.
All you have to do is call one of us. And like in Shelby's famous words, we sending up some timber.
Exactly.
Period.
Yes, we
Exactly.
yes. I think, Shelby, that knowing that you all were there for me, at the level that you all were, especially even after mom died, and the bout with the sickness, the illness, it made me stronger. It made me want to fight harder. And I was able to get through a lot of the things that I've been going through. I could not have done it alone. I mean, and everyone had their own role.
Yeah.
I never felt alone. I never felt alone. And I've never felt so much love. It was
I
just
get it.
amazing.
And
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not territorial. I'm really not, until I
Really?
have to be.
I am. I am.
I'm not. I'm not. Now, even with her, like, she's in a position that I do understand and respect, and that she has to take on responsibility sometimes, even when it's not her fault. That's what leadership is.
Mm-hmm.
You fall on the knife, you get on the cross, but sometimes I guess my vantage point, I'm like, okay, enough is enough. She not getting on one more knife. Whoever caused this, you won't get on the knife. She not falling on the knife this time.
Joe, there's the finger. You know, when she start pointing the finger.
And saying 2 words and is.
She not falling on the knife this time. And so I thank God I have some level of emotional maturity so I can stay in my place without causing a scene. But if they could read my mind and know what was going on inside, they'd be like, she is crazy.
They can you read your face because you can't hide it. When you're protected.
You know what, Britt? You and my spiritual mom. She tells me that all the time. She's like, baby, all they got to do is look at your face. Your face.
Mm-hmm. It tells it all.
Yep.
It does. It really does.
She be looking like.
Mm-hmm.
That is not good. That's not good.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on that, ladies.
It's not necessary. It's a part of you, darling. It's a good thing.
But sometimes you don't need to divulge everything on your face. Sometimes you need to have a poker face.
Well, I don't think that you're divulging
what you don't
face. It's just that some people know you, so they may know what that look is. But it's not like where other people will know what it is.
I gotta get some tissue. I done got myself all messed up fooling around with Nicole. And I tell you, got my nose running and everything. Everything leaking. My eyes leaking, my nose leaking, everything. Okay, let's get this back together. But yeah, I try to hide it, you know. I'm like, okay, that's her capacity. She has to do what she needs to do. And then, you know, y'all husbands, I try to stay in good graces with them, even when I'm like, I'm mad at you.
I know that facial expression when I see that one.
I can get mad at Randy, and Randy doesn't know it. If I think he has not done right by Nicole, and I'm trying to stay in my lane, but usually I don't.
You don't.
I will call him and say, hey, I don't.
But see, you have a lifelong relationship with him.
I'll
like
call.
That. Y'all were in high school together. You knew him before you knew her.
Exactly.
I can't call Joe or even Pastor or Randy and go, yeah. So I just like.
I'm calling because I want to know. I just like to.
You don't call Tony when you're mad at him.
No. But Tony knows how to read my silence.
Oh, okay.
Tony, I've not known Tony as long as I've known Joe and Randy. Yeah. Tony has to get to the level. He's not DEFCON 3 right now. He's still DEFCON 1. Okay. And so he has to graduate to the point where he can hear my verbiage, but he does know my silence. I bet you, because I think all of us are married to men, and that's another thing. All of us are married to men that have a sense of discernment. I think when you're married to a woman that has a strong sense of discernment and she loves God, it has to rub off on them. So I'm sure Tony can discern whether I'm with him or not. If you're mad, if you're upset, and something's long-term like that, he knows I know. I cannot be or call myself your sister and not know when you're upset. It is no way in the world we can be in a physical, if we're physically together most of the times, or we are mentally together when we're talking, and we're spiritually together when we're walking. There's nowhere in the world you're going to be going through something and the Lord doesn't tap me on the back to say, hey, you need to pray for her, or hey, you need to call her today because she's down. Because we're not in this relationship, this is my opinion, by ourselves. God is always in the midst of us, and we depend on him to even tell us what to say to one another. It is not like, oh, I'm that smart. No, that's not it. I just like to be connected with the man who created you. That's right. So, and with that in mind, he makes sure that I make sure you feel how you need to feel. If it's not that way, on your job, then okay, I will come in not knowing it, but he would say, hey, call Shelby to let her know she is useful. She's useful in the kingdom. Now, those folk on her job may not know it, but she's useful to me. And so the story is not over yet.
Right, right.
And
But
I think that's
you have those relationships. I haven't known Joanne nearly as long as I've known any of you all, but I can look across the church and know when she's in a good space and when she's not. And if she's in proximity of Joe, I know whether it's him or something else.
Mm-hmm.
You just can tell.
I don't have
And
to know what it
one of you
is.
guys can hear my voice. I'll
Yes.
say hello.
And a
Yeah.
certain
Britta's a big check-in person. I'm just calling to check in on you, like, because she jet sets to Martha's Vineyard and to Paris,
She does.
darling. And so when she's gone,
Told her I want to be her assistant, go to work with her one day. She was like, I just go to work like everybody. I said, no, ma'am. You fly to New York and then you get on the ferry and then you have to go, your client fly you out to Martha's Vineyard. Like I can carry your bags or something.
we can all be armor bearers, actually.
You
And
hear that, Brett?
it would be a nice little jaunt to Martha's Vineyard. So
Right.
she'll check in and, well, how is your day?
Yeah.
She'll go, mm-hmm. And then she reads your tone and then tells you, well, it doesn't this or that. You pick up the little droppings of what she's saying. And you can also tell whether she's in the company of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
She's
I call
discreet.
Britt, she's the mommy, auntie, grandmama, but she's also the one that is like the self-care sister because she will tell you to sit down in a minute. Honey, life is not to beat up on you. You know, she would let me know, or she would let you know, it's time for you guys to sit down. Don't be running around. Don't, be filled with anxiety. You need to take a vacation. Let's get on a train. Let's get on a plane. Let's get on a boat. She's always trying to make sure that we take care of ourselves. And I think that's her part in our sisterhood. And I love that about Britt, especially the head massage, God.
And the darling. Don't forget
And
that.
the darling.
head massage, darlings.
And all the snacks.
And all the snacks.
And all the snacks.
Of the conversation. I love the conversations with Auntie Britt.
Yes.
I love the fact that I can go to her and just let it all out. I know she'd be like, Lord God, is this woman ever gonna be quiet? But
No, it's good to get it out. Patience.
I get it out. And she just be like, girl, God got you. It's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But like each of you ladies though are wonderful. Like it's wonderful to have the group, but like I can also talk to either one of you individually, and I feel like I'm the most special person. Like I can go to people's house and it will make me feel the way. I could talk to Nicole and she's like Ladybug, and then I'm in, I can talk to Shelby, I can talk to you personally. All of you have a way of just when we're one-on-one making me feel like I'm like the most important person to you.
But see, and I think that is what okay, let me get my thoughts together. What I hear is we are very good with making sure that we promote self-esteem and not self-pity. Sometimes when you are with other people, they will let you lay and just marinate in your mess. That is not what we do for one another, because tomorrow will come. And we all know there are new mercies each and every day we wake up. And with that mindset, no, it's not self-pity. It's about self-esteem. So Joe can go ahead and open her business. Joe can go ahead and be the mother that when her children grow up, they will rise up and call her blessed. Joe is not just a wife and a mother. Joe is a woman, the first thing which God created in her. So she was born with greatness on the inside. And so when we come to you, we're just speaking to the thing that God has already created, not something that a man can't contaminate it.
That's true. That's real good. And all of the things that you guys are talking about, I listed. This is just validation of the research. the emotional support, the positive self-image, the improved mental health, the social validation, the career support, the life skills, the stress reduction. You know, I can talk to other people that may even be special in my life. They may be relatives or whatever. But if I get on the phone with one of you guys, depending on the area of what it is, I it's almost like you come down, it's like a safe space.
Mm.
You come down, you come down,
That's how she said.
Safe space.
There it is.
you come, you come, it's almost like you land the plane.
Mhm.
You come down a few decibels. It's like, okay, this is gonna be okay. This is not going to kill me. It's not going to be leaked to the tabloids. I'm not going to be judged. You know that judge thing? I can't imagine. I hear people say that they feel judged by their friends. And I'm going, that's not your friend.
That's
Wait
not,
a minute, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's not a friend.
that's
That's
not,
not
that's,
judge. Whether I have been through a given situation or not, I am in no position to judge anyone with my messed up self. I'm just not. I'm constantly trying to self improve. I'm constantly trying to get better in the areas that I feel that I need help with the help of the Lord, first and foremost, in you all and your encouragement. Because, see, people see you, but they really don't know you because they don't spend time with you. They don't see your flaws. They don't know your shortcomings. You all know mine, and you
Yeah.
tolerate them and still celebrate me.
it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can I judge somebody, or how can I call you friend
mhm.
and I feel judged by you or not valued? That's another thing. Like you're tolerated. You're
Mhm.
not, you don't feel valued. That is, I'm too old for that.
Mhm.
I can't, I can't function in that. Or you're hiding a different face from me. You're living one life over here and another one over there. And you have no one that you can go say, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm experiencing. And this is what's happening. I need you to help me pray.
Well, see, when it's like that, that's not a friend. That's not the definition of a friend. It's certainly not the definition of someone that you would call your sister. It is what I hear some of the mentees, they call them associates. And I think
Exactly.
what we have done, we've intermingled the definition to make it convenient for us because for whatever reason, we may have a need to want someone or to be with someone, but you don't understand the parameters or the expectations of that relationship. And so when you were naming all of those things, like, well, no, that doesn't line up with a sisterhood. That doesn't line up with even friendship. That's just an associate. And so I think sometimes we set our expectations so high. That's why we get disappointed so many times. And so with you guys, because God has graced us to be with one another, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter what you do, I'm still going to love you. We don't live two different lives, one with you and then one with someone else. That's not what we do. It is what it is. We are who we are, and we're becoming something. And you guys are very tolerant. You're very patient. You're very long suffering as God continues to chisel on our weaknesses or our fault. You don't judge. What you do, you just don't judge. You don't make people. I know for myself, make me feel guilty or have walk around with shame. None of that. What you do is cover. And we do that for one another. We cover each other in love because that's what love does.
It covers.
And so if you really truly, I mean, really look at the godly definition of love, that's how you know you can call somebody your sister. Get a piece of paper, write it down. Go on to 1 Corinthians 13, write it
Right.
down. And if you can check off all of that concerning a person and really being honest about it, then you can call her your sister. I don't do two different lifestyles. I don't like dishonesty. I try not to do that with you all. If I don't want to tell you, I'd be like, it ain't none of your business. And y'all accept it.
Yeah.
You give me the
But it's
freedom,
not.
right? You give me the freedom to be me. You give me the freedom to even make mistakes. But you also give me the encouragement to get back on the right track. You don't leave me the same way I was. And I think that's a good definition or part of the characteristics, or what I would say the structure or either formula for calling someone your sister. Y'all know if you don't answer my phone call, I'm going to get my feathers going to get ruffled. Isn't that right, Brett?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Bring it all. You know what? That's a form of protection too. And I think that we work very, very hard and consciously to protect each other.
Yeah.
So much going on in the world where women are not supporting women the way they really should. You know, and what we have is very, very special. I had an experience with an associate who really wanted closer. And she said to me, my mom and I always talk about you all. We'll see something and say, oh, well, Shelby would be great in this. This is Shelby's look. Or, well, this is what First Lady does when she's speaking about so and so and so. And Joanne is always so sweet and so nice. How do I get to be in that group? And you don't realize what you're actually giving to each other.
Yeah.
You know, you really don't, because people are shady. They're not kind, loving, not giving, and all to have all of that huge conglomerate within another individual that you weren't born to is a cherished thing. You know, I really cherish you guys so much. No idea how much I cherish you. You know, and that's why I am so protective, and that's why I always trying to be that you're getting some rest and that you're being calm, because you give so much. You really don't. I mean, you really do. You don't realize how much you give. And it's constant, you know? So to have what we have here, it is a true blessing.
Yeah.
It is a true blessing. It's unlike anything that most women have.
Yeah.
And that's so unfortunate. You know, when
It
I see
is.
groups on, because sometimes stories like this make television for sad reasons. I've seen one in the group develop cancer, and most of them that I've seen, I'm not saying that this is the case, were Caucasian groups of women, and they would fly in from different areas of the country to take shifts in helping to take care of the one that was ill. That is definitely something that I would do. We're fortunately locally based, but I see that, and I know that there are many groups of women of color that have that, and maybe it just doesn't, not publicly seen, but so often women are in competition. And I think society puts them in that place because it's another trick of the enemy. It could be added as a strategy in fervent, or the 11th strategy, unhealthy competition. There is not a reason in the world for women to be intimidated and in competition with another woman. First of all, God made us all individuals with different talents, different proclivities, and that if we are smart, and we are definitely a part of someone's destiny, you're a destiny helper. You are to utilize your gifts and your talents in the assignment that you've been given in that life. And that's when it really comes together and works the way God intended it to. It is not to be compared or in a race, which does nothing but destroy both sides, because it's futile. What are you comparing? A prune to an apple? I mean, they do different things. They have different health benefits. Were ever created to be alike. Even if you have the similarity of you both being a fruit, they're not alike, nor were they supposed to. Even though all of us like a lot of the same things, we're different.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be different.
Right.
Because my strength is not yours. But when you need my strength, guess what? You got it.
It's fair.
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Mhm.
You know,
Lisa
Shelby,
does not have a sense of direction. I do.
No, I don't. I don't know where we're going, and I don't care where we're going. I just want to get there.
And so I'm like, turn, even if she's driving, I'm like, turn right there.
You did that the other night.
Did I?
You did that the other night.
And what did I do?
You just turned wherever she
I
told
just
you.
turned.
You did.
And but you know the reason why
Where
I
we
just
needed to
turned,
go.
Nicole? I didn't care what the GPS said. It didn't matter because that thing it sometimes it's wrong. I think we do that when you trust.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
When you can let someone give you directions, whether it be on the road or whether it be directives or direction in life, and you question that, it's because you trust them. You know they have your best interest at heart. They're not going to lead you down a dark road. And that is very difficult. It has been difficult for me to get to that point. And because I don't know about you, well, I do. All of us have been disappointed by people. Other people, whether been on our jobs, whether they've been in our family, even whether it's been in church, we've been
And
disappointed
relationships,
in
all
all
of
our,
the above.
right. And
Yes.
so it chips away at your trust in people because you're like, man, I knew them for 20 plus years. And then she, she flipped,
But you
right?
know what? If you think about it, the people that disappoint you over and over and over again, if we think about it, they
Mhm.
showed us who they were.
Yes.
They showed us who they were, and we chose because of our love for them,
Yeah.
or us wanting them to change, or believing them telling us that they had changed. We believed them, and we kept going and
Yeah.
kept going and kept going until we decided no more. They showed us. We
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
They show you who you are, who they are. But
Yeah.
they do.
Absolutely.
And some of us are crazy enough to keep on letting it happen. But after that point, here comes God. He's like, enough is enough because that's my daughter.
Yeah.
Now, she may not, recognize what you're doing, but I'm going to put her in a position where it's going to open her eyes. You know that scripture, Lord, open their eyes so that they might
I
see.
may see.
Somebody will pray that for you. A sister in the group say, hey, open her eyes so that she might see the truth. And when you see the truth and you know that it's not right, he will have you to develop a, I call it a McGrady effect.
A what effect?
Don't worry about it, Pumpkin. We'll talk about it later. Shelby know what I'm talking about, okay?
Okay.
Joanne,
What it is,
it's like taking a hot knife, cutting through butter. You know how quick a hot knife will go through butter, and how it severs it. That's how quick the relationship is over.
Oh.
now,
That's the McGrady.
you don't do it in a mean way because that's
Yeah.
not God.
In love.
He will show you how to do it. He will give you the words. And however that person responds, that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is just to be obedient unto what God is asking you to do. And what I love about our relationships is that when I'm getting ready to do something, like you see how Shelby, she's like, oh God, who now? I was like, and depending on the season in your life,
Oh, I know.
don't pay her any attention. Depending on the season in your life, there are some things that need to be added and some things that need to be cut off. That includes people.
That's right.
And what happens is that we're so traditional, we're so driven by our flesh that we're like, oh my God, what if I do this? And what if they don't like it? And they're gonna make me, I'm gonna be the bad person. Well, honey, you better listen to the voice of God because he knows the end from the beginning. He knows what's best for us. And everything is not going to be pleasant. But what he does is he forges people together, not for them, but for those who will that will cross their path. We are stronger together. We
That's
are
right.
not as strong apart. And so as I've grown up, I've realized that my best allies are my sissies.
Yeah. Yeah. When
If
you
you
learn how to be a well-rounded person where you have your husband, you love your husband, you have your children. This is one thing First Lady has helped me with in the last couple of years. I was so much into my husband and my children, and I was getting my feelings hurt a lot. And she helped me to see that, Joanne, you have to also have your own identity, your own self. Do what are things that you like to do and things you enjoy doing. And sometimes I didn't even know, because I've always did so much for them that it took. And so like now I'm like, oh, I'm going, tell Joe, I'm going Thursday night. I got this. Let's see, Wednesday night I got Zoom with Shelby. Thursday I'm getting my nails done, and Friday night I'm at Shelby's house, and he'd be like, I said, well, you didn't say you had nothing planned.
That happened to me the last 2 weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I think as we grow, Shelby, now, of course, Joe wasn't like that when her kids were small, because your babies need you. That's why I'm always talking about seasons. Depending on what season you're in. Here's Nicole. She's an empty nester. What is she going to do? Just sit around the house and look at the walls? No. She was quick to say that. No. And I think even before you became an empty nester, God began to prepare you for this time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He was like, okay, so certain things began to irritate you. Certain people began to, you like, it's not going to be for this season in your life. And it's okay. Everything has its season. And so now you guys are in your season. Some people just didn't see the season changing.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people just want you to stay in that season. But let me tell you something. If you go outside now with a bikini on, something's going to happen. Seasons have changed, honey. Things, it's just not going to be right, okay? They just didn't recognize when your season was changing. Well, that's not your fault, nor your responsibility either. Because if God would have you to go here, go there, do this or do that, he's still preparing you, chiseling you. He is still wanting his daughter to become whole. That's what we're doing in this sisterhood. And that's why I love it so much, because you all are concerned about me being not just healthy and not just healed, but whole.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that is so true and well said, because I think women, as Britt alluded to at the beginning of this Zoom, women, if you don't watch us, we will give and I don't have children and I've been guilty of it. We will give every ounce of ourselves away, every ounce. And Joanne, even though there was a huge time, a gate that I've been single most of my adult life and no children, there has been times in my life that you ask me, well, what do you want? What do you like? It would have been a struggle for me to answer that, because I had cut up so many little parts of myself and given it away over here, over there, doing this, doing that. Or if I had a significant other at that time, a piece to them. If you're not careful, especially if you have a gratuitous giving heart, which I think I do, I know I do, there will be nothing, absolutely nothing left for you.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then in the case of you, First Lady Nicole, that have had long-term marriages with your children, they grow up. You end up in your 50s or even your 60s, you are lost because you have no self-identity. You have no interest of your own. You have not developed any life of yourself. Your husband's doing their thing, because most times men don't do that. They're going to always keep, even in the midst of raising their families, being in long-term marriage, they're going to always keep a piece of themselves for themselves. And they're going to keep an identity separate from the couple and the dad and the family. They just do it better than we do. Maybe it's because we were formed to be nurturing. I don't know. But if you're not careful, you'll look around and you will be, and then to add menopause on the top, like the icing.
Ooh.
And you're dealing with that, and you have no self-worth, identity, value, nothing. Everything is tied to go. Kids, they gone. They're gonna leave. Even if they're
supposed to.
They're
supposed to leave.
They are.
We hold on to them because that has become our identity.
That's right. You do more so of it when you don't have a life of your own. And really, it's pressure. It's pressure on them, and it's unfair to them, because some of them, I've seen
Yeah.
situations like that that are so bad to that degree. The kids carry guilt because their mama doesn't have a life.
Mm.
And they know she's holding on to them because she doesn't have a life. So it's a burden,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it's, I think it is so vital at reading up on all of this. And I did it when we did this show here in my house like 3 years ago. I learned something new every time that I do research for this topic for that I can identify with in our own situation or something new that I can learn, implement in our relationships. Um, I think it's important. And I see women out. I saw two young ladies 2 weekends ago that I met. I was out shopping by myself and they were so
What you
funny.
buy?
I don't remember.
You telling a story.
I don't remember what I bought. I think I bought some
Okay,
gifts
first
that
of
night.
all, who on this Zoom is going to believe that you don't remember the one that
I
has the
bought some
best
gifts.
memory?
I bought some Christmas gifts. I bought one of the Secret Santas, Santa gifts, because the person named that I had a smorgasbord of stuff. So I had to buy a number of different things. So I bought some Secret Santa gifts. I went to the Bath and Body Works candle sale. Since you're making me remember, I bought some
I'm
hand
making her
soaps.
remember.
I bought some candles. So these two young ladies were friends. One was Linda and the other one was Omega. One was an RN, uh, pursuing the degree that you have, Joanne. She was pursuing her physician assistance degree. And the other young lady, I forgot what she did, but they had been friends a very long time. And I was literally cracking up listening to them in the store because it reminded me so much of us.
Mm.
So we began to talk. And this is totally out of my character. I went to dinner with them.
Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute, what?
What?
You what? You went to dinner with some complete strangers and you did not call any of us to tell us where you were, what you were doing, and who you were eating with?
Well, you were in Florida and I sent
What
my
does that
location.
state line have to do with with
I
safety?
sent my location to Tan. So she knew where I
Okay, I'm
was.
good.
But
Yeah,
they
all
were
right, we're good.
they were perfect. They were so kind and so wonderful. But I knew inside that I would be okay. I
Mm.
don't know how that was totally, and I told them, I said, it's totally out of character. I followed them in their cars to a restaurant right over here near me in Hiram that we all have to go to. It was a sushi spot. That food was so excellent and fresh and good. But sidebar for that. But long story short, I went to dinner with them and came home and they have kept in contact with me through text
Oh,
because they're in their 40s, but just very nice women. And they reminded me of you guys and y'all left me. So I
mm.
wandered off like Alice in
Did
Wonderland.
she say we left her?
That's
I
what
was
she
in
said.
Florida.
I think
Nicole, you gonna let her say that?
I was about to say that I wasn't in Florida.
right. I was like, we were still in Fayetteville. We were in Nicole.
Mhm.
Well, it sounded good.
Left. How about left now?
Well, guys, can you all believe we've been talking an hour?
No.
It's always like that.
When you're in
Yeah.
good company, though, it doesn't ever seem like it's the time just goes by because you're just enjoying
Yeah.
the company you're with.
Well, you know what? We'll probably just go live on Friday night
Okay.
and continue this. How about that?
Okay.
But
Sounds
I
great.
want to say a big old thank you to
Thank
you guys for
Thank
a big old thank you and a virtual hug.
Oh.
For you all coming on tonight. This show is very casual and natural, but it's very important.
Yes, it is.
Very important to me. And I know that it's going to encourage someone. It's going to be a template and a blueprint for someone that may even be at the beginning of a new relationship with women. I hear women say a lot of times they're not a girl's girl or they don't get along with women or women are messy or they're catty. You're with the wrong women.
exactly.
You're with the
Amen.
wrong women. And I get a little defensive, I think, inside. I try not to show it outwardly when I hear women say that or men because it's not true.
Mhm.
It's not true. When you have the right heart, and the Bible verse escapes me, you must first, to have a friend, you must first show yourself friendly.
Must be a friend to have a friend.
That
Yeah.
is correct. And when you are in the path of those that are assigned, and I truly believe that those that are close to you, that you are a sum of, because the 3 to 5 people that you spend the most time with, you become a sum of them to some degree. The assimilation definitely, the association definitely brings on assimilation. It's inevitable. I
Mhm.
hear vocabulary that one of us will start, the other one of, I heard Nicole say that someone was crazy as a loon the other day, and that came straight from me. I knew it did when she said it. But so it becomes, and vice versa. I say things that comes straight from you guys. It's inevitable.
I
So
have one that called, I have one,
What?
the one that Shelby taught me out. This one's really good. She's like, once didn't know you, soon to
soon to
forget you.
forget you.
Like, what's that mean? No, here's another one. Here's another one. Shelby said, go on in there. Go right on in there right now and put some straightness to it. So I use those. If y'all wonder where I got them from, I got them from Shelby. Now,
But
here's another one. We all use this one because we like it when we're swanning. And this is Britannica. Darling.
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 No. You have to say it right. Darling.
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 You are trying.
But you know, Shelby, you said that this show is important to you, but it's important to all of us because
Yeah.
Absolutely.
so that's the thing with all of us. What's important to one of us is important to all of us, and we're going to support each other with everything we have. And whatever that is, we're going to always be there for one another. And that's to me what a true friendship is. Like you said earlier, First Lady, you said a true friendship is one where you not only tell people the good things, but you can also tell them things that they need to know whether they want to hear it or not. That's definitely, and you can move on from that. That's a good friend. But a good friend loves you no matter what, and they support you, and you feel it and you know it. So I'm thankful for all my cities. Thank you. I love
Absolutely.
And you're
It
not
was
going to
well
hear it.
said.
You're not going to hear it in the street. You're not going to see it on Facebook. It's not going to hit Instagram. It's not going to end up in a room they don't know you're a part of. It's not going to end up in the pews at church. It's not going to end up in the office at work. That's when you're not going to get off the call or get out of a conversation, not even run to your husband sometime to say, hey, Shelby, no, this is my relationship with her. My husband's gonna be like, girl, go pray about it anyway. So and that I value confidentiality.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I,
when those Christmas trees went on, I was calling you in, Britt. I said, wait a minute, now something ain't right. I got to figure out how to go turn these Christmas trees on up in
Help me, Lord.
Joe called me in Florida. She was like,
Well, the ones
how
on
to
the
turn a tree
right
on.
were not on. And I was thinking, I need to know how to do that for when they're not here. And that was one of the first things I asked you when you got back. I said, how do you turn those trees on that are sitting at the bottom of because I just would have turned them on.
See, I didn't know the right one wasn't on until after service because I was sitting on the left
The
side.
right one. The left was on. So you must have gotten it on by the time I saw it. It was the right one that I saw.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're talking about this. But see,
well, no, we're talking about it because it's important
it is
to me.
That's what I was about to say.
And so it's now
Because
important to you guys. It's just what Joe
Exactly.
said.
She's right.
Then I was like, wait a minute, them the candles, individual candles. Do I supposed to go up there and just start turning on candles? That's a whole lot, about 20 candles up there.
And I was out there doing the fundraiser right after service, and my phone rings. Are you at church? Yes, but I'm doing the fundraiser. Let me call you back. Because everybody, there was 1,000 people looking in my face. And so I said, I'll call you back when I get in the car. I could tell by her voice. And I was like, she has seen something on the television, on the live stream. And I don't know if I'm in the proper position to entertain this conversation. So error on the side of caution. Love always covers and protects.
Yeah.
Even when you don't even know you need protecting. Because sometimes you don't see things from the vantage point that they do. But
Absolutely.
then when you
Yeah.
trust, if you see their body language or their face, or they touch you in a certain way, I
Mhm.
can lay my hand on Lisa when I'm armor bearing as the first lady, and she'll respond in a certain way
Mhm.
because my touch communicates
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it is truly, again, important to me and very special with each and every one of you. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to go. Nicole called me one day in a rage.
Mm.
Where
Nicole,
were you?
Britt said,
You were not. This wouldn't have happened if you had been at church. Where were you?
oh God.
Ooh,
Nicole, were you in a rage?
I was.
Mhm.
Really?
I was, because I knew that something that happened would not have happened had she been there. It would not have
Um,
happened. And
Mm.
where were you?
Mm.
I'm out
oh,
of
you were
town.
in trouble, weren't you,
I
Shelby?
was, but I was more concerned about what had happened
Yeah.
than the fact that I was out of town. I was like, what happened? And then once she told me, I said, okay, it's gonna be okay. But it probably wouldn't have happened if I had been there. You'd be surprised what sometimes your presence
Mhm.
does
Yeah.
Makes
or
sense.
does not do.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because we are all spirits.
Yeah.
And if a spirit is up to no good, it understands the spirit that it has to come up against. And it's like, I better not try that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Or that the other person is not there, whomever it may be, or I can probably get away with it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely interesting. But I want to thank you all very, 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 very much for gracing Safe Space with your wisdom, your love, your knowledge, and your beautiful presence. And all of your beautiful homes, the backgrounds are so lovely. They
Mhm.
look very darling-ish. And so
Just use-
Well, I wonder why. I mean, she basically trained all of us.
darling.
So,
Yeah, you see my doves?
Yes.
From the doves are from September 15th that birthed me and September 16th that continued to train me.
Well, all right. I'll be
Amen.
back.
Even though I don't like them, they look like big pigeons, but that's all I could find.
oh my God. Oh my
But
gosh.
this will go on and on. It's 9:39. I am 9 minutes over. I love you guys. I will see you Friday. And
Yes.
we will, if we feel like it, we'll go live for a little while to entertain the masses
All
and show them our love in person. Thank you so much for your time tonight. As I said, for your wisdom, for your love. And in Jesus' name, this will go and touch someone and meet them at their place of need. As normal and as serious and lighthearted as it is for us, it is a struggle for many people. And they are not blessed to have what it is that we have. But maybe there's something tonight that we have said in teaching, in wisdom, in love, in emotion, that will guide them to their destiny helpers, their sissies, the ones. If it's just one, you're blessed to
right.
have a very good one. So, is there anything else if someone would like to say in closing?
I just want to say a prayer.
Oh, please.
Oh, gracious Lord, we thank you so much for bringing us together to share in our lives that might touch somebody else's life, oh Heavenly Father. We thank you so much for all the blessings that you've bestowed upon us during this wonderful, wonderful holiday season, which is your birthday. Let us not forget the reason for the season. Continue to lead us and guide us and have us to do things in your way and not our own. Amen.
Mhm.
Amen.
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 Thank you so much, darling. That was so
God.
wonderful and so on time, as usual.
Go to
Good
bed.
night. Good night to all of you. Good night to my Safe Space family out there. I want to wish you all a wonderful holiday season. Wherever you are, I pray that you are happy. No matter what your circumstances are, just know that God is available. He always is available to listen. He always will meet you at your place of need. Just give him a try. Just try. Just try him. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. I didn't say you wouldn't have issues, but I promise you, everything that you sacrifice for him will be worth it. I look forward to seeing you
Yes.
all in 2025 here at Safe Space. We have some wonderful shows already lined up for January. You'll see the information coming forth soon. And again, I wish you all a wonderful holiday season and the best new year ever. I wish you all health, wealth, and wisdom. Good night, and thank you for listening. This is Shelby from Safe Space.
Good
Good
night.
night.